What?
So you can tell us your story?
A story. Once upon a time. Is that it?
No, your story.
My story? Well, you don't really mean my story. You mean the story of...
The little Torah?
Right. Yes. Of course.
Give him a background.
I know Mrs. Teresi knows the story, but she would like you to know it too, okay? So I
name.
tell you what we'll do. There's my daughter.
She's behind you. Would you like
Oh,
it?
she's hiding behind you, okay?
Would you like it?
Now, this is my daughter, and she'll be my assistant. Let's put this.
I will be the assistant. Yes.
All right, now, this, as you just quite rightly said, this is a story of this little Torah. Now, where are the Torahs usually in this room?
Yeah.
In what? In the
Say it again.
ark.
Yeah.
Okay, in the ark, right. And they're usually, are they that small?
Usually not.
No, you're right, they're very large. But this is very special. And that's the story about that little Torah. You may not realize it, but this little Torah belongs to my family. So it belongs to me, it belongs to my daughter, to our family. And this little Torah is very old. It's way over 200 years old. And you know, what's in the Torah? Do you have any idea? Anything?
The story of how Moses freed.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's wonderful. Sure, absolutely.
The story of the Israelites wandering in the desert.
Pardon me?
The stories of the Israelites wandering in the
Right.
desert.
That too. That's a lot. I tell you later on. We will open this little Torah and you'll have a good look. Okay? But in the meantime, we will just hear why this little Torah is right now in my arms. How did it get here? Now, Mrs. Teresi might have mentioned to you also that I wasn't born in this country. Do you know where I was born?
Take a guess.
Germany?
Yes. And during that time, do you know who were the people who were in charge in Germany?
Hitler and the Japanese.
Right. Absolutely. And I am, as you all are, Jewish. Now you know also that Hitler was not a friend of the Jews. Not only wasn't he a friend of the Jews, he was pretty nasty. Not only he, but all his helpers, like anyone who worked for him. And I was a girl, about your age and then a little older. And when Hitler came to power, it was not a good time for us Jews to be in Germany. And I know that it was very important, not only that we are safe, but that our Torah, which is the most important thing for us Jewish people, because as you told me already what's in the Torah, that is so important to us. Now this little Torah, which usually lives in an ark, just like the big ones, was in Berlin, in Germany. When I grew up, I was about your age. And every year there was one day where this little Torah was, all the other Torahs as well, were very important, and we honored those. Do you know what day that was?
Passover.
With pardon me? Could be, no. Any other idea?
Shavuot.
Well, that's a bit of the Torah. That's an important holiday for the Torah, absolutely. But particularly where we celebrate the Torah, and there is a very happy word which means happiness. Simchat. Yes, and do you remember Simchat Torah? Have you ever been here or somewhere? What do we do on Simchat Torah?
We unscroll the Torah and we start from the beginning.
Very good. Yes, we read the last chapter and the first chapter again, and we rejoice because now we can start the whole Torah again because it's so important for us. So that's right, that's Simchat Torah. Now that's the day exactly when this little Torah was in my synagogue. That means when I say, and where I grew up in Berlin in the synagogue, where I went as a child to Sunday school, you see. So this little Torah then, when it came to Hitler, was one thing we wanted to be sure that does not fall into the hands of the Nazis, okay? And you know what happened is, only on Simchat Torah it was in the synagogue. During the year, do you realize where it was? In my home, because I had told you, it belongs to my family. Why does it belong to my family? These Torahs don't belong to my family, but this has a story. When my grandfather's father had his 70th birthday, he and his brothers wanted to make a very special gift to him. And so they had a scribe. Come back to that word. Remember the word scribe, okay? It's so fair. Scribe. Write special and copy the Torah onto a small portion, and that made this little Torah. And now we'll have to be sure that it's true. So, in order to do that, let's do this. You hold this for me. And do you know what this is called?
The yad.
Yes. Do you have a yad? Any one of you? Oh, good. Great. Well, so do I. In fact, I have two. Okay. Now, see, that's the yad, and this is the decoration for the Torah. That's the breastplate, you see? Now, you hold for me. Each one will hold something. You hold this for me very carefully, okay? And you hold the yad for me, please. Okay. Now you see there's a finger. Look, even the finger has a little tool on it. You see? And here's the mantle. Okay. There. Okay, would you hold the mantle for me, please? Now, would you help me open this, please? Thank you. And hold on to this tight, because we want to do it again later when we're done. Now watch. When I open it up, what do you see?
It's really small.
Isn't it? Look at that.
Yeah.
Do you see
It's tiny.
writing
It's so small.
Super tiny.
in Hebrew? Yes. Now look at the back. What do you see there? What do you see?
The small pieces are sewn together.
So, why is it sewn together?
I think it's animal skin.
Very good, and that's the best way to hold it. And you don't use glue on it, that's right. So that's the little Torah now. Who never held anything yet right now? You have something, you have something, you have something, you have something. No, Mrs. Teresi doesn't. That's not fair. Here, Mrs. Teresi, hold this, please. Now let's open it up, and then we reverse it. And I take this and you take this. Because now look, that's a real Torah, and it opens up for all the stories. Yes, that you told me already, I am there. And you saw that they are sewn together. And look how small the print is.
See?
You see? You see it? Yes?
You see?
Okay. And that's all handwritten by a so fast, a scribe who is specially trained to write it, and that Sophia used a quill, a very fine, either goose or duck, a little feather with a pointed edge, and dipped it in ink and wrote it by hand. Can you imagine that small print to write by hand? But that's how it's done, because there mustn't be any mistake. Now, okay, we'll close it. Wow, that's a lot of stories, right? Yeah, a lot of stories. Oh, you have the fat part. I have the thin part. All right, I'm catching up on you. Here we are.
I'll meet you in the middle.
Right. Now, who's got the tie?
I have it.
Okay.
All right, could you come here, please? And tie it for us?
Right there? Sure. There you go. Good girl.
Good. You hold it and you tie it, okay?
Okay.
Tight. Good, make a bow if you like. Thank you. Perfect. Now what goes next? The mantle, right. The mantle. Now, doesn't the mantle look beautiful? And I haven't, after I tell you the story, you wonder how come it's so beautiful. Because now I have to tell you the story why it's here. Because, as we heard before, Hitler wasn't very eager for us. Oops. Oh, there we go. Well, now came the time that many of us Jewish people would have liked very much to leave Germany under Hitler. It was not a good life for us Jews under Hitler. And I was very, very lucky that I was able to get permission to leave Germany and take along 2 suitcases. One regular suitcase for my clothes and some linen, and another suitcase. Who's never held anything yet? Well, no. Mrs. Judson, you haven't held anything. Are you strong enough to hold this?
I think so.
You want me to hold the camera?
Okay. I got permission to leave, and my parents and I was thinking, oh, we must be able to save the little Torah, to take it out with us from Germany and have it safe. I had a trunk which was like a big black, that high trunk, square like this, about that high, where I had a lot of toys for children because I was a preschool teacher and I was allowed to take along lottos, nursery books, and also some song discs that were breakable. So we said, okay, we'll put it in that toy trunk, and you take the little Torah and hide it in the toy trunk. So I took the little Torah, the way you saw it a minute ago, and wrapped it in a dish towel, nice and soft, put it in that trunk about halfway down, just around where those song discs were, and put it there. And then I had to go to customs. You know, customs where one is allowed to take something or not to take something. And of course they were the Nazi who had to check what am I taking out. Oh my God, my little Torah. They mustn't find it. Oh my God, they mustn't find the little Torah. I want to take it out. I don't want it to be thrown out. So I put the little Torah and that towel in that suitcase, in that trunk actually, which is like a big, heavy suitcase, and buried it in there. And then I came to the customs, and there were the 2 or 3 men, and here I was, my father was with me, And I was, oh my God, I want to take the little Torah out, but they mustn't find it. And so the men who were in charge, the Nazi men, next, that was my turn, next. I got scared. I wanted to leave Germany, but I wanted to take the little Torah out. Yes? So I came, and there was the trunk, and the Nazi guy said to me, open! I had a key. I unlocked it. I opened the lid. Open it! And I was afraid, what does he do? And I said, please be careful. I have some song discs in there that are breakable, because I wanted them to be careful. They barked, sort of. They were not very patient. After all, I was just Jewish. That wasn't important to them. You see, that's how it was then. We Jews were not important to them. So I said, please be careful, there are breakable discs. They barked again. So my turn came. Open. And then I see them open the lid of that trunk. And of course, we know the little Torah was right there, right, in the dish towel. And my heart went bumpty bump. I was so afraid, so scared. Open. So I opened. And then I see one of the two men that were there take his shirt, put the sleeve up like that, went like this right into that trunk, and I figured, oh my God, don't let them find the little Torah. Don't let them find the little Torah. And I was so scared, and then all of a sudden I see how this man's hand came up, and I thought, oh my God, he may have the little Torah in his hand. Oh please, oh God, oh please. And I see he has something in his hand. Yes. You can tell, whether somebody has something in his hand. Pretend, And as the hand comes up, guess what was in it? What do you think? What do you think? Huh? You don't know.
A disc?
No, you know what? It wasn't the little Torah, but you will laugh. What was in his hand was a tennis ball. You know why? Because remember I told you that was a trunk with toys, right? And when I saw the hand with the tennis ball, and then he took it, and the other man was standing right over there, so he seized the tennis ball, and he threw it to the other guy, and he threw it back. They had fun, doing it. I was so happy to see the tennis ball and not the little Torah in his hand. That's how that little Torah got out. You can imagine, after the tennis ball episode, you see, that was all right. They said, close it. I closed the trunk. He threw the tennis ball into the trunk, and you know what? When I came to America many years later, guess what I found in that trunk? Broken song records, because he had taken that tennis ball, threw it in there. I couldn't be happier. It didn't matter, you can imagine. But the little Torah was safe. That's why this little Torah is now here in the ark. That's where it lives now, safely away from them. So that's the story of the little Torah. Now I want to show you some details about that little Torah. You see that mantle, pretty beautiful mantle. And you know what it says here? It tells that it was given to their father on his 70th birthday by his children. His name is Chaim Wolfson. That was my mother's maiden name, you see. Now, not only that, this is a pretty new, beautiful little mantle, isn't it? But you may not believe me. I have the old mantle here too. Now, look. You see, it's the same thing, but it's old. It's no frayed, you see. That's okay, thank you. That's the old mantle. And after a number of years, about 20, 25 years ago, we decided the little Torah deserves a new mantle, and that's why you see this mantle. But it has the same inscription as the old one had. You see, and this is very old. You can see how frayed it is here. Okay, now that's the little Torah, and that's why you are able to see it here at Temple Beth-El in Poughkeepsie. And that's where it lives. Okay? And that's a happy story, don't you think so? Okay? So you will remember that for a while. Yes.
Did any of your siblings go to the camp?
You know, that's such a good question, because you know the history about it. Yes, so many people had to go to a camp, and many of them did not survive. You're absolutely right. But we were very lucky. There were a number in my family who had to go to camp and did not survive. But my brother and I, we were the youngest in our family, we did not have to go. We were very fortunate and did not have. However, you remember that when he found the tennis ball, if I would have been in trouble with this little Torah, who knows? But I was very lucky, right? And so was the little Torah, and that's why you're able to see it, and we can share the story, and you can tell others about it, okay? Well, thank you for listening, yes.
I heard a story.
Pardon me?
I heard a story earlier today.
You did?
About this girl, I forgot her name.
Anne? What was the name?
About?
Anne
Anne Frank.
and Frank.
Anne.
And her sister
Frank.
got a letter on a holiday about that had to go to camp. She had to go to camp, but her father was a businessman, and she's like, no.
Do you know in what country they were living?
Germany.
No, they were living
After
in
that.
Holland.
After that.
Yes.
And then when they both went to camp, they had to shave their heads because what so they get white because they were like all on top of each other. And they all went to camp, the whole family, except the only one that survived was her father. And he found her diary. And so
That's right. And published it. And if you have a chance, as you get a little older,
they had to live in the library.
Yes, it's in the library. The story of Anne Frank, and by all means, if you have a chance later on at some point, read it. It tells you a lovely story and in a way a happy ending as well, but it wasn't a happy ending for many, as you already told me, okay? So thank you for listening. Now I think what we have to do, because we know the story of the little Torah, we take the new mantle off and put the old one on, right? Okay, would you take it off, please? The new mantle? No, just the mantle. Just the mantle.
Upside down.
Right.
No, the other end. It's up the other end.
See? So, lift it from here. Right, and here's what you tied so tightly. And now we'll put this one on, okay? Because that's the way it survived. Okay? Okay, now you know the story of the little Torah, and whenever you will see it, if the ark ever opens and you see it very often, it's way up high in our ark, okay? But it's down today so that we could have a good look at it. And I would like you to see also what's around that little Torah. You have the crown. See? These, you know why there are the little bells and decorations and even jewels? Because they wanted to honor the little Torah and made it as beautiful as possible. Now, somebody has the breast shield. Yes, you have it. Miss Teresa didn't hold. Oh, thank you. Okay. Now, where's the breast shield? Thank you. Now, I would like you to see this. And I have you all look. You see, these are the Ten Commandments. There's a screw. And I will open it in a minute and I will show you what's in it. And you will tell me, in fact, you will read what's in it. Now, you want to open the screw. Can you do that?
Turn the screw. Turn it back, yeah.
You can put it in my hand, the screw.
Wait, this way.
Turn it that way. To
That's
the left.
right.
Turn to the left.
Wait,
Turn
that way.
it that way.
Got it.
Is it
Okay,
turning?
let's. Well,
Too tight?
here we go. Now you open your hand, and you can hold it for me. Oh, let's Mrs. Teresa do something too. She has such pretty jewels anyway already, so there we go. Now, you see this little window? And in the little window, once the screw is removed, we can open it. And there are a number of discs in it. I'll show it to each of you. And I wonder if there's anyone looking at the first disc. If you know what the word is, don't say it. Just raise your hand and say that you know. Don't tell me what it is now. Just, if you understand the word, raise your hand. Let's just wait. If you don't understand, it's perfectly okay.
I don't know the last letter.
You know what it says?
Can you see it?
Yeah, no,
Now, who knows what the word says?
Shabbat.
That's right. Because in each window are discs telling about each holiday. Let's see if we find another one. You found Shabbat. Is that a holiday?
Yes.
How often do you have Shabbat?
Once a week.
Okay. So it's a very frequent holiday and a very important one every week, right? Now you see? Oh, good. I'm glad you're here. You see, when we turn it around, there's another word. Now, I wonder who can, and again, don't tell me the word. Just if you can read it, raise your hand.
I can read it.
Okay.
Wait, yes, I can.
Good. Okay.
Pesach.
What is it?
Pesach.
Right. Pesach, another holiday. And each disc has the name of a holiday. And then when all the discs are in there, then Mrs. Teresi will have to put her jewel back here and close it.
Wait, Michaela has one more.
You have, another disc. Oh, am I glad that you watch out for it. You see how careless I am? Oh, my goodness, I'm so glad I have enough helpers here. All right, Mrs. Teresi, now it's all yours.
See it.
Okay? Now you see that breastplate is very important. Thank you.
Tight?
Thank you. Okay, now we need the little Torah. So you can read from this little Torah because you'll find the same words as you already found. Okay? Now we'll take the old mantle off. That'll go back into my pot eventually. All right. You see how warm this is? But the new mantle is nicer. Thank you. You can put that on your dresser.
Hold on, hold on, please. Need them?
Right.
There you go.
Right.
There you go. Oh, wow. Good job. You got
Okay.
it. You got it.
Good.
Go.
Okay, pull it up. And now, breastplate. You had the breastplate here. Who has the yad?
Here.
Who has the yad?
Right here.
You have it, good. Very good. Now we put the crown on. And now my daughter, as I told you, is here. And she's, of course, in my family too. So it's for hers also. So she will take it and put it back into the ark, carefully. Okay? See, and you could read what's in it already. Who's going to Hebrew school? Oh, wow. Good. So you learn how to read Hebrew. You can read much of the Torah eventually. One word at a time. Very good. Very nice. Any other questions? Well, we learned a lot. Now there's one word I used in the beginning. I used the word who wrote the Torah. Do you remember the word?
Scribe.
A scribe. And do you know the Hebrew word for it, anyone?
I think you said it was a software.
This is summer, yeah?
Yeah.
So fair. It's a so fair, yes. And so I've seen it, and now I should have pointed out once again how very small the print is. Or how was it done? By machine, typewriter, or how was that written?
By a handwritten.
Huh?
Like a handwriter.
Yes, by hand, absolutely. That's important to know. There mustn't be a mistake in it once it's copied. Okay, so you learned a lot about the little Torah, and you know what? Not just about the little Torah. Any of the big Torahs, the same thing, only you couldn't carry it like I did.
In the trunk.
In the trunk.
No.
So now you know the little Torah, why it is here, and how lucky we are
And they also
that they found a tennis ball, right?
learned one of the mitzvot that people do during the service, the Shabbat service, or during the week when we take the Torah out, the Galila.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now it'll have much more meaning to you because you know so many things around it, okay? Well, and you will tell it to others then, right? Okay, well,
Thank you so
for bringing
much.
this nice class to me again. Thank you very, very much.